What if the feeling that something is off in your life isn't confusion, but communication? What if burnout, restlessness, anxiety, or even numbness aren't personal failures at all, but signals? Because here's the truth no one teaches us. When you're out of alignment with your soul path, your body knows long before your mind does. And today, I want to walk you through the most common signs, not from fear, but from awareness. Before we talk about the signs, we need to clarify what we actually mean by soul misalignment, because this isn't about being broken, lost, or off track. From a grounded perspective, alignment simply means that the way you live, decide, and move through the world is in harmony with who you truly are inside. Your values, your nervous system, your identity, your daily behaviors. When these parts are working together, life feels coherent, even when it's challenging. Psychology calls this internal congruence. When your actions align with your values and sense of self, research shows that higher levels of congruence are associated with greater well-being, greater motivation, and emotional regulation. Neuroscience refers to this as coherence. When the brain, heart, and nervous system are communicating efficiently. In coherent states, the body uses less energy just to function. Stress hormones regulate more easily, and clarity increases. Spiritual traditions call this alignment, living in integrity with your inner truth rather than external expectation. Different language, same experience. Misalignment doesn't usually happen because we make one wrong choice. It happens gradually. It happens when you start living according to who you think you should be instead of who you actually are. When you override your intuition long enough, when you ignore what your body is signaling, when you prioritize survival, approval, and productivity over authenticity, the nervous system does notice. And this is important. Your body is always tracking truth, even when your mind is rationalizing. From a biological standpoint, when there's a mismatch between inner truth and outer life, the nervous system registers conflict. That conflict shows up as low-grade stress. Not always panic, not always breakdown. Sometimes it looks like constant tension, subtle anxiety, emotional flatness, or even a vague sense that something isn't quite right. Even if everything looks good on the outside, your soul misalignment isn't mystical punishment, it's feedback. It's your system saying, this doesn't fully fit anymore. And here's the reframe most people need to hear. Feeling out of alignment doesn't mean that you failed. It often means you've outgrown something. Your soul path isn't a single destination. It's an evolving relationship with yourself. And when that relationship needs attention, your body speaks first, long before your mind has the words to even say. That's why the signs we're about to talk about aren't problems to eliminate. They're messages to interpret. So before we go any further, I just want to invite you into a brief check-in. Nothing to fix, nothing to analyze, just notice briefly. If it feels okay, gently bring your attention to your body. You don't need to close your eyes, just soften your gaze. Take a slow breath in through your nose and a longer breath out through your mouth. Now ask yourself without forcing an answer. Where do I feel ease right now? And where do I feel tension? Maybe it isn't your chest, your shoulders, your jaw, your belly. Just notice, where is it? There is no right or wrong here. Your body isn't trying to alarm you. It's trying to communicate. Take one more slow breath and silently remind yourself awareness is enough for now. If anything in that list section resonated, if something softened, tightened, or stirred, that's not a problem. That's information. And as we move into the signs, I want you to listen, not just with your mind, but with your body, because alignment isn't something you figure out. It's something that you feel deeply. The first and one of the most common signs of soul misalignment is the quiet, persistent restlessness. You can't fully relax, even when nothing is wrong. Moments of calm don't feel settling, they feel uncomfortable. You're always searching for the next thing, the next goal, the next distraction, the next upgrade. And when you achieve something, it doesn't land the way you thought it would. There's a brief high and then it fades. From a research perspective, this makes sense. Studies on dopamine regulation show that when we pursue goals that are misaligned with our intrinsic values, goals driven by expectation, comparison, or external reward, the brain's reward system doesn't stabilize. Instead of satisfaction, it creates more seeking. So the system keeps scanning. What's next? What else? Why isn't this enough? And here's the reframe that matters. Your soul isn't bored, it's unengaged. Restlessness isn't a character flaw, it's feedback. It often means you're living from who you think you should be instead of who you actually are, from expectation, not from inner truth. And until that truth is acknowledged, the system keeps searching, not because you're ungrateful, but because something essential hasn't been met yet. Now, this one is huge. The second sign of soul misalignment is a kind of exhaustion that sleep doesn't resolve. You rest, you slow down, you take time off, and yet you still feel tired. This isn't the fatigue of doing too much. It's the fatigue of living out of sync. From a psychological perspective, this often reflects chronic nervous system activation, especially a low-grade, ongoing fight or flight response. When you're forcing yourself to live a life that doesn't quite fit your values, your truth, your natural rhythm, your body stays subtly vigilant all the time. Research shows that prolonged misalignment between internal values and external demands is associated with elevated cortisol levels and reduced vagal tone. In simple terms, your system is working overtime just to maintain normal functioning. So, the exhaustion isn't because you're lazy, and it's not because you're broken or even tired. It's because your energy is being spent on self-suppression. Rest alone doesn't fix that. Only alignment does. From a psychological standpoint, this often reflects chronic nervous system activation, especially low-grade fight or flight. When you're forcing a life that doesn't fit your authentic self, your system stays vigilant. Somatic research shows living out of alignment increases cortisol output and reduces vagal tone, which directly impacts energy, digestion, and immune function. This isn't laziness, it's resistance at a nervous system level. The third sign shows up in your decision making. You second guess yourself constantly. You overanalyze your little simple choices. You feel disconnected from your inner knowing. You might even find yourself asking everyone else, "What do I do?" while feeling frustrated that you can't hear your own actual inner voice. From a neuroscience standpoint, this also makes sense too. When stress hormones stay elevated, access to the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for clarity, intuition, and long-term vision, becomes limited. So intuition doesn't disappear. You just lose access to it. Misalignment creates internal noise, and noise makes it hard to hear all those subtle little signals that are so important. Your intuition hasn't left you though. Your nervous system just doesn't feel safe enough to listen yet. You either feel too much or almost nothing at all. The fourth sign of misalignment shows up emotionally, and it often swings between two extremes. Both are signs of dysregulation. You either feel way too much or almost absolutely nothing at all. You might notice heightened irritability, anxiety, or emotional overwhelm. Or you might just feel flat, completely disconnected, or even numb. Both are protective responses. Somatic and trauma research shows that when nervous systems can't reconcile inner truth with outer life, it shifts between states of hyperarousal and hypoarousal. Overreaction is the system saying, "This is too much." Numbing is the system saying, "This is too much." Different expressions, same message. Your emotions aren't the problem though. They're the data and the feedback. They're trying to tell you something about what's sustainable and what is not. Now this one hits hard for the high achievers. I know personally. The fifth sign often appears later, and it can be the most confusing. You're doing everything right, but it doesn't feel right. On the outside, things are working great even. You're productive, you're capable, you're doing what you set up to do, what you need to do, and yet something feels empty inside. This experience has been studied extensively in psychology. Viktor Frankl referred to it as the existential vacuum, a state where meaning is missing. Even in the presence of achievement, your soul doesn't crave productivity, it craves purpose, expression, and authenticity. So when success is built on expectation instead of truth, it doesn't satisfy you. Not because you're ungrateful, but because something essential is missing. Fulfillment doesn't come from doing more. It comes from living in alignment with who you actually are. So here's the reframe. Alignment is not found by forcing change. It's restored through listening. Here's what all of these signs have in common. They're not punishments. They're not failures. They're not evidence that something is even wrong with you. They're signals. Your system is saying something here no longer fits. Something wants and needs to change. Something deeper is asking to be heard. So start here. First, notice where your body tightens. Second, track what drains you versus what nourishes you. 3, ask, who am I being this for? And 4, regulate before you redesign. You don't abandon your life to align. You refine it. Alignment isn't found by forcing your life to look different overnight. It's restored through listening, regulation, and small, honest adjustments. Very easy. And that's exactly where we go next. If this video resonated with you, it's definitely not random. Your awareness is waking up, and awareness always comes before change. If you want support reconnecting to your soul path without bypassing your nervous system, that's exactly what I guide one-on-one with me and inside the Divine Soul Lifestyle Academy, a learning community where alignment, healing, and manifestation meet embodiment. You don't need to be fixed. You need to be heard, and by yourself first. Comment a line if this spoke to you and save for later reflection. Subscribe if you're ready for conscious creation from the inside out. As always, be more than a label and embody your divine soul.